A very warm weekend greetings to you and yours from all of us here at the Top 5 News. We give you 5 stories in 5 minutes. All good news, usually. Thanks for tuning in today. This is the weekend edition, and we're going to get going here in 1 minute or less. Uh, let's see here. Yes, everything is ready today. Today just blew by. And but we do have 5 stories that are going to be new to you and new to me, and we're going to explore those together. This is the top 5 news. I'm Joe Pelayo. We give you all the news that you can use, and nothing that might give you the blues. It's just 5 stories in 5 minutes that you can use. Sometimes you read about something that happened in your hometown on your local news, or something that Sal's Delicatessen, or something that happened, some crime story that you can't do anything about. But no, we give you news that you might be able to use. And so it's 5 stories in 5 minutes that you can use. Um, and so if your career is already in high gear, or if you're sitting in a cubicle box checking your stocks, waiting to just say game over to the work game altogether, well, or anywhere in between, I'd like to suggest a news show with a very practical name, and it's called the Top 5 News. And once you watch it, you'll never be the same. Tonight we have uh, disappearing photos, YouTube Shorts, Google TV, AI laptops, um, SpaceX IPO, Open AI trial, and other things that are uh, in the news today, and a couple of bonus stories also. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Story number 5 today: the Instagram instance. I don't know if you can believe this story or not. Um, so Instagram has a new disappearing photos feature, and it's like shorts, uh, but shorter. It's like a 1 second video, and apparently they have a accidental on it that's real easy to turn on. And so they have a photo sharing feature that lets you send disappearing photos and 24-hour stories that just vanish, one video or one sent at a time. And it's positioned as a casual, uh, unfiltered alternative to the regular direct message like Snapchat or Be Real or Hybrid. um, and it's aimed at close friends and mutuals, and uh, perfect for spontaneous moments. They say the launch has been messy because had a lot of accidental shares, but you can disable it in the settings under privacy and instance. Instagram's testing ways to reduce accidental shares. Do you believe that's an accident? You know, I spent some time on X, the former Twitter, and I've probably fallen into about 10 of the X spaces that they have. And it's like a Zoom meeting, but with no video, just the audio. Like a meeting, and they have good speakers, and you pick your topics, and people come up and can speak to the room and whatnot. But the first few times I fell in, I didn't really, like it. But then I thought, maybe it's kind of the genius plot of the company to get you to get exposure to, those types of meeting rooms, because it wasn't something I would have sought. But after accidentally falling into a few, I kind of like um, the programs. Story number 4 today: YouTube Shorts on TV just hit 2 billion viewing hours. Um, that's on a new record. So 2 billion viewing hours per month, correction. And uh, seems counterintuitive at first, but the biggest, fastest growing screen for YouTube and for any podcast or any content is now online. It's your TV, and people want to watch their favorite shows on their TV at home, and so YouTube's making that available for the shorts also, and it's like a fast, video. And so apparently, viewers watch over 200 million hours a month of the YouTube Shorts. Do you watch those? I find it kind of dizzying. It's a little too fast for me or something. I don't know. It's funny. I do the 5-minute news show, but I can't stand the little 5-second videos. I like to get a good, solid. Give me a good Lex Friedman podcast I can dig into, or Joe Rogan interviewing someone super interesting. Yeah, I can watch that, and I can adjust the speed. I put on 2 times speed or 1.5 times speed. But the podcast growth in the living room is hitting podcast growth overall. It's hitting over 700 million hours per month now, and that's up from 400 million hours per month in 2024. So almost a doubling of our everybody on the internet watching podcasts, showing big screen TVs and audio only. The let's see. Okay, the Google TV and other smart TV platforms, they appear there as short videos for you, and so they kind of push into your home feed now. And anyway, the big screen experience is where people want to watch those to social media studies are finding. So let's see, shorts. Feel like I'm missing one of the stories here, but okay. Story number 3: the Google Book officially unveiled the Google Book. So it's like the next Chromebook. It's a premium AI first laptop, and it's categorized as the spiritual successor to Chromebooks, but with much deeper intelligence. The core features include the Gemini as the built-in brain, and the new Magic Pointer AI cursor that anticipates your actions and your summarizes your controls, and uses native Android apps, etc. So the users can run their phone screen or the big screen, interchangeably, and it's got all the built-in hardware expected in the 2026 release, and Google's marketing is the laptop that thinks with you. That's like the interim step, right? It thinks with you for now, but it's going to think for you real soon. Anyway, it's sold as the laptop that thinks with you, and it's aimed at both consumers and enterprise businesses. So, some of the things you can do in it touts, and this was interesting because I had just done this. It says you can say, make me a game in plain English, and watch the creativity explode. The laptop that actually thinks with you is creating that game for you almost real time. And I did that with a different AI, and I like to say it was my idea, but the AI asked me kind of out of the blue, do you want to make a video game? So I was like, okay, try it. And made an edition of Breakout that, would have rivaled anything on your Pong or Atari years ago, and did it in about probably 5 minutes or less, and gave me a link with it to share to my friends, which I posted on a couple of the socials. And amazing the creativity of things that people can do, and you're just getting little glimpses of it now, but I would predict within a year or two we're going to be making TV shows and full-length movies, all of us, with the AI just speaking your script. And today I ran out of time, but I was experimenting with an article that I wrote. That was one of the more well-read articles. I wrote hundreds of career articles in my day job, which is a recruiter. And one of the most famous articles that got the most hits and everything. I don't want to steal the thunder from it, but I'll share that with you tomorrow if I can get it to work. But I'm going to turn that into a little 1-minute video using AI, and I think it'll be something to see tomorrow. So good. Not tomorrow, Monday. Story 2 today: SpaceX IPO is accelerating through the IPO timeline and quietly filed its S1 with the SEC April 1. Um, and now plans to go public as soon as June 11th. Dates are always in flux, but there's a roadshow scheduled June 8th, pricing potentially late June. Could be one of the largest IPO. It will be the largest IPO of ever. And analysts project it to be raising around 75 billion or more at a valuation that could hit 1.75 trillion. The company is emphasizing retail access and highlighting Starlink's global broadband growth plus Starship's progress. Elon Musk has called it the right time to let more people in to own a piece of the future. No final share count or exact pricing yet, but sources say the filing say that the filing is very close to public. News you can use, but I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take my advice and don't take that as a stock tip or anything like that. I'm just keeping you apprised of what's going on. The space boom is opening up to everyday investors. Story number one today, the Musk versus OpenAI high-profile trial wrapped up closing arguments yesterday with Musk's side saying that OpenAI abandoned its original intent as a nonprofit mission and refused open source GPT models as promised, and that Sam Altman cannot be trusted. OpenAI countered that Musk never extracted any binding open source commitments in writing, and that his donations were used appropriately, and that the company shifted to a for-profit was necessary to compete. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella testified about the partnership strains, and the jury is deliberating possibly Monday. This case could reshape AI governance, licensing, and control of frontier models of AI. News you can use, pushing forward whole industries, game-changing AI that helps us all create and build amazing things. Bonus story, Scott Pressler, grassroots star Scott Pressler, known as at the Persistence on X, held a protest yesterday outside Senate Majority Leader John Thune's office in the Washington, D.C. He and a small group of activists are demanding immediate action on the stalled Save America Act. I spoke up for that because it's where you got to show an ID to vote, and over 80% of people, this is Democrat and Republicans, think that's a good idea. In a wide variety of highly respected polls, it's 80%. And then you have it just stalled out in the Senate, and yeah, I couldn't stick with it. I got a newfound respect for the politicians because I think they stall you out, and they just. Can you imagine? You have 80+% of Americans want an ID to vote, right? And the guy, Senator John Thune, just sits on it for 180 days, half a year, 130 or 40 days, almost half a year. They passed it in the House already. And maybe he's the wrong scapegoat when he talks. Seems like an honest, nice guy. But, he says stuff like, we don't have the votes. We don't have the votes. I'm a recruiter. Your job is to get the votes. You ask the guy, hey, you got time for a coffee? Can we talk on the phone? You don't want this SAVE Act where, people are going to have to show an ID to vote. I mean, do you care about your country? This is important. Or what would it take in your state that we could kind of put on the, project list for you someday, some way that you could have a breakthrough for your state? It's that important. I don't know if that's legal or unfair politics or whatever, but there's got to be a way to sit down with the guy and say, let's have dinner, let's talk about this, and let's get the votes. Just something very strange about one of the most powerful men in the world saying we just don't have the votes. It's just odd. It's very odd. And the whole thing it wore me out, so I stopped pressing on it. But thank God for people like this guy, Scott Pressler. I don't know if you ever saw him, but he's interesting looking dude, and he's kind of like the perfect complement to Trump because he offsets a lot of the criticisms. um, but yeah, so I want to give him a shout out, or thank you for helping Americans get their will done. It's a shame we have to do it in this crazy manner. If you're near Washington D.C., go and protest. I might do it myself, but I was hoping to do it in conjunction with the July 4th, celebrations. We have the 250th year anniversary, and I thought it'd be cool to be there. Maybe I could kill two birds with one stone and protest and go to the 250th celebrations. But we'll see how it all plays out. Scott Pressler, this guy based Mike Lee, Anna Luca. These people are just on it every day with nonstop persistence. That's the guy's handle, the persistence. So see if you can follow him and help him get that ID to vote thing through, because the Senate has lost its way, ladies and gentlemen. It happens. The late, great Scott Adams used to say, if the American people want something at a 70% or above level, they'll get it eventually. So we hold out hope for that. But I think they just try to stall you out until you stop thinking about it, stop talking about it. It's very odd that you could have 80+% of people want that ID to vote and have it not go through. But anyway, I try not to. I'm a pretty creative person, and also I feel like if you're watching every day, you may not want to hear the same stories every day. It's like you don't want to tune into the news and just watch, Iran, right? Everything is Iran, or whatever the given story is, and everybody talks about it every single day like a soap opera. It just kind of wears you out. So I try to have a substantially unique show, and you notice I haven't talked about this for a while, but I do think it's incredibly important, and I don't understand why we as a country can't have what we want, which is just show an ID to vote. It just seems like a really simple thing. And I would invite John Thune or anybody who wants to speak about the other side of the argument, why the American people should not get what they want. ID to vote. Come on in and let's discuss it. But people have spoken in these polls over time. Anyway, I'm belaboring it, but Save America Act is at risk, but I think it will get done. But if you're in Washington, D.C., or you got the time, I got to work. I got to do the show. I got a lot of stuff to do, so I don't think I can fly out there right at the moment. But if you're nearby or you want to fly in, I'm sure they would welcome extra boots on the ground and extra people to peacefully protest. Let's see here. Pressler criticized Thune and several Republican senators, including Senator Bill Cassidy, for slow walking the legislation. Time to play hardball, he said. That's the quote. And the GOP must deliver on its election integrity promises. The protest is part of an ongoing pressure campaign he launched after the bill stalled in the committee. Pressler's been live posting updates to urge supporters to contact their senators, drawing significant attention in conservative circles as a flashpoint ahead of the midterms. Passionate push for election integrity, making big waves. Bonus story number 2, I think it is. I'm almost done. Lex Friedman podcast. Lex Friedman, have you seen his show? I tell you what, if you are watching any local news or any CNN or any of that mainstream media, I just challenge you, take one day off. Watch a Lex Friedman show or some other podcast, interview, anything other than the mainstream media. But anyway, Lex Friedman, he's uh, this European fellow. I don't know if he's Russian or Ukrainian. Anyway, really bright guy, and he's really great at interviewing people, and he's really great at getting the great interviewees. So he's had, uh, you know, Facebook Mark. Uh, well, he's had Mark Andrews, and that was one of the ones that I would recommend you watch. Mark Andrews and Mark Facebook Mark. All kinds of tech and IT people that are just really brilliant, deep thinkers and breakthrough technologists. And he gets in and does a Joe Rogan style 3 hour talk with these folks. Anyway, he did a bonus AI deep dive. Lex Friedman did on his show State of AI in 2026, and broke down all the AI LLM models, generative coding, anything that you could talk about as it relates to building apps, games, scaling, the laws, everything AI, agents, GPUs, the power that it needs, China versus USA, and AGI timelines and other stuff that is buzz about the AI energy surge and the human AI relationship. So that's news you can use. Take it off normal news. Go watch Lex Friedman podcast. I'll be sharing other of my sources here. It's all an open book, but it would take a long time to share everything that I'm following and had to follow and unfollow and all the resources. But what I try to do is keep up on the news, which just got harder and harder and harder for me. And so I just thought one day, well, maybe studying the news 3 hours, somebody like that in a 5 minute download. And now we're pressing up on 20 odd minutes. So sorry about that. But I tried to do 5 stories in 5 minutes. I almost never make it, but I don't think 5 stories in 8 minutes would sell very well. Okay, so 5 stories, 5 minutes starting next week. AI is moving fast. A lot of positive news. And yeah, the future's wide open. I can't believe how exciting it's going to be to have every creative person being able to create. It used to be you had to have a bankroll or a backer, a producer, money, tech know-how, and all these things. And now you're just going to tell your AI, hey, make me a movie. Here's the script. Or write the script, right? Here's my idea. It's going to be incredible. So the future's wide open and super exciting. And that's your top 5 news. All these breakthroughs remind us that the future isn't something that's happening. It's something that we get to help build and share a part in. And whether you're dreaming up your next big idea or working on it on your Google Book with your AI, sharing laughs with friends on Instagram, or you're looking at different shorts on the couch, or investing in the SpaceX Boom IPO, or following the AI Revolution on Lex Friedman podcast, or whatever you're doing. And if you're teaming up with Scott Pressler to help save America with the Save America Act, good for you. Keep it going. Keep the momentum. And remember these words, Jeremiah 29:11. God says, I have, the plans that I have for you. Plans not to hurt you, but to give you a hope and a future. And Galatians 1:27 says, God created mankind in his own image, and now we're creating right alongside with him with AI. It's just such an amazing innovation time that we live in. Don't forget Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's your top 5 news wrap up with bonuses for today. Which stories got you fired up? Drop it in the comments. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you here next week for 5 fresh and new, upbeat, exciting stories on the top 5 news. Thanks and good night, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend to you and yours. Good night.